We're here to rescue you.
Roger. Jailbreak, jailbreak, jailbreak.
All right, we're gonna make a big move.
Alpha 2, they're coming up behind you, Tier 6.
Go, go, go! Get the pickup site.
I'm Garrett Smith, Marine Infantry combat veteran and CEO of Reveal Technology.
I'm Phil, CEO of Jeddoc and veteran of Army Special Operations.
And I'm Jerad, COO of Jeddoc and also a veteran of Army Special Operations.
During the Philippine War in June of 2025, one of the most decisive actions taken were evacuations of both military and civilian personnel throughout the entire region.
This scenario is all about what it takes to evacuate priority personnel in a sensor and drone-laden environment where the time it takes to close a distance happens in seconds and not hours.
Today's BattleLab is crisis evacuation. In this scenario, 2 priority personnel, ages 10 and 12, are located in a safe house. The offense must locate them and move them successfully to extraction point Kilo. They will be outfitted with low signature comms with the priority personnel, as well as ISR and strike drones. The defense will have remote cyber access to video feeds from the safe house, but they won't be able to move into the operating area until they either detect the opposition force or detect that the priority personnel have departed the safe house. And both teams will have access to Farsight for deliberate and hasty mission planning.
Here's the scoring system for crisis evacuation. 20 points for mission success, 5 points for human kills, 2 points for drone kills, and 10 points for resource efficiency.
Phil is the captain for Team X-Ray in black multicam, and Jerad continues as Team Alpha's captain in green multicam.
Team X-Ray will have a 5-man maneuver element. We'll use small arms, bangers, smoke, and various drone platforms.
Team Alpha will also be a 5-man maneuver element equipped with drones, small arms, bangers, and smokes.
In rounds 1 and 2, Team Alpha will be on offense, attempting to extract the priority personnel and move them to pick up Site Kilo. Team X-Ray will be on defense, attempting to prevent the extraction. The 2 teams will switch for rounds 3 and 4. Let's get into round 1.
This is round 1. Alpha is going to be on the rescue team. Our goal is to get into position as quietly as we can and maintain cover, burn out a little bit of the clock, and then we set the conditions for the movement of the priority personnel. We're gonna split the team in half. We're gonna send half of them ahead and hopefully in good defensive positions, communicate with the priority personnel and get them to move to us and get them to the rescue point, hopefully unscathed.
For round 1 here of crisis evac, we are the hunting team. So we're gonna split into 2 different elements, the ambush element and then the drone control element. We're gonna immediately get ISR up for launch and execute, and then we're going to also be monitoring the video within building 1. Once we see priority personnel move or we detect the other team, we're gonna launch our ambush element, which is a 2-man element in vicinity pickup site Kilo. They're gonna set up an ambush site, and then our drone control element is going to move as a 2-man element down to the south side, what we're calling quadrant 2 of the arena. We're gonna tech clear the northern wood line, and then we're gonna bound up there and start assaulting from west to east. Our goal is to eliminate their drone pilot and then also to delay their rescue team.
All right, put drones up, drones up, drones up.
Yep. So we're gonna take.
All right, let's go see if we can get a little closer to that wood line over there and see if we can find the enemy.
Which wood line?
Yeah, this is as close as we want to get to the top of that clearing. So we'll cut across the road right here.
Let's go.
You say they took off? If they walked out of there. Hey, Phil, your kids just walked to the wood.
All right, so at this point, we've confirmed the priority personnel leaving the safe house, trigger mat.
Yep, trigger mat.
Yeah.
So you guys go get set up. I think they're that quadrant 3, they're in that area.
Okay. I think we gotta be careful through here too.
Kids, come to the sound of my voice. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Come to the sound of my voice.
Gotcha.
You can move down the road, we're in the woods. I see you coming.
And so for X-ray team, goal is get 2 individuals, X-ray 2 and 3, to the goal line as quickly as possible, because we know that you have to get to pickup site Kilo. And so, hey, let's get there, set up an ambush, or at least be ready to ambush once we see priority personnel trying to move for that final pickup.
X-ray 3. All right, I'm gonna move across, yeah?
X-ray 2. Yeah, they're doing exactly what we thought they'd do, which is move up that.
I'm gonna give him that shit right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe position myself up a little bit higher.
You can see fucking great right there.
Everything.
All right.
There, I see one. I got one. He's on that side. I got one that wanted.
All right, me and Danny are gonna go up on the far side as rifles. We're gonna cut straight across over here, okay?
You guys can engage and kill that guy. Assume there's a couple.
Yeah.
Me and Jerad are gonna employ smoke. I think time's on our side right now.
Yeah, we have 18 minutes, so hey, let's push across and we're gonna.
It's X-ray 3, I'm in position. I see one at the top of the ridge.
Hey, we got guys crossing in front of us, right in front of us.
They're in between us. They're in between us.
This X-ray 2, we got guys moving across the field, heading towards quadrant 2.
Hey, bound back, get that drone up. I'll hold him right here. You guys start working it up to clear, okay?
Hey, X-ray 3, this is X-ray 2. I think they're gonna potentially come over here and flank my position.
Yeah, I copy. If that happens, I'll move over there to support you. You start seeing them move.
I'm gonna actually position myself in a little bit lower ground over here. I see them moving around.
Alpha 3, Alpha 1 status.
Roger, we're at the corner. We had 2 behind us.
Their recommendation was to take their risk and run across the open field and try to split their elements. And at the time, I thought it was too risky, but what ended up happening was forcing them to collapse down and deal with that threat, and then opening up a corridor for us.
Roger, you said you're being followed?
They're gonna be up here.
Hey, they're maneuvering another guy back in your direction, Alpha 3. He's coming up on the far ridge line right by the finish point. All right, they just pulled one guy off of them. So when they start that contact, we're gonna move up on the right. On to the left, Danny. I see him.
We have 1 EKA. Move, move, move.
You got them both. I'm going high. Okay, go ahead.
All right, we're gonna make a big move. I'm gonna throw smoke, and hopefully what we'll do is run through the smoke to the finish line.
Moving.
Hey, this is X-ray 1. I see Alpha 1. He's on the north side tree line. North side tree line of quadrant 1. North side tree line, quadrant 1. Oh, the kids are moving. Let's go. Go to the strike. They're out in the open. Let's go. Run, run, run. Kids are moving to pick up site Kilo.
All right, they're coming in behind us. Alpha 2, they're coming up behind you, tier 6. Go, 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 go. Let's go, let's go. All right. Hey,
From my vantage point, being a little bit offset from the action, it appeared to me as though we got the priority personnel across the finish line in time, but it looks like at baseline, Alpha got the win. We'll sort out the scoring points afterwards, but all in all, good strategy. Probably a big win for Alpha team.
Yeah, so ultimately Alpha Team won on that one. We had a really good disposition. We anticipated exactly what they would do. Ultimately what it came down to was range and execution of strikes. You know, the challenge of doing training and using training munitions is you don't have the same max effective range as live munitions. So some of our engagements, because we had to be in closer, led to it favors the defense versus the offense as far as those engagements go. So again, our battlefield geometry, how we set up our ambush location and then our supporting element with the drone strike team was really good. Now we've got to adapt it to the training environment where we've got to close the distance. We got to get in closer so that we're locking down this pickup site at Kilo.
So as Alpha takes the priority personnel across the finish line, that puts a wrap on round one. Jerad, you succeeded here. What were the learnings? What were the takeaways?
We just capitalized on the fact that the scenario, it was the first time we were all seeing it. So make a move, apply some sort of technique or some tactic and see what happens. It turned out really, really well in our favor. We're not going to be able to effectively use the same tactics again.
Right, so you've learned the terrain. Phil, you and X-Ray are learning the terrain as well. What's going to change going into round two?
Yeah, so I think we did a good job, both of us, using Farsight to figure out that canalizing terrain and what the key terrain was. So we used that, we both came to the same conclusions with it. And frankly, both of our scheme of maneuvers to try to gain that key terrain and hold it. Where I think we messed up on X-Ray and going forward was, hey, how do we consolidate? We tried to split our element too much, and then we were counting on standoff strike too much. And ultimately, the tech failed, it was too slow, you moved faster than we could get the standoff strike in, and then the concealment degraded the standoff strike so much that it really didn't provide us any ability to put any effects on you. So at this point, I'm like, I need to get more guns in the fight and hold down that key terrain and prevent Alpha Team from moving fast with the priority personnel.
So X-Ray is going to be focused on occupying and making use of key terrain.
Yep.
It seemed like the kind of the start of that channelizing terrain is the choke point, is the key terrain. Let's see how both teams use it in round two.
We're going to try something a little bit different by splitting our forces up and try to encircle them around the entire playing field instead of just at the last choke point. That's going to require us to commit another person off the escort and set up the ambush. So it'll be me moving forward with the priority personnel and everybody else getting out in front with all the technology, the ISR drone and everything else, and setting up an ambush, hopefully getting them where they enter the playing field and starting that gunfight way out ahead. If that happens successfully, that frees up the rest of the playing field for me to run straight to the finish with the priority personnel.
For round two, we're gonna build off the tactics on round one, which were really sound, and that was setting up an ambush at quadrant one, which is the area immediately around pickup site Kilo. So we're gonna enhance our ambush element. We're gonna give the drone pilot to him with the strike platform. So we're gonna have 3 personnel plus the strike platform setting up an ambush in quadrant one. I'm gonna move to quadrant two, delay, disrupt, and then ultimately clear that area in order to trit the rescue force as it moves into quadrant one. What really held us back last round was the limitations of training munitions. We engaged effectively, we surprised them, but we were limited with range. So we got to get in closer, and then we got to use our tech better. We got to get that strike platform in play, and that what was really effective was using our ISR with IR. We just got to get that into the play quicker so we can detect them before the priority personnel move. Launch and execute, drones up.
All right.
All right, I'm looking at quadrant 3.
Probably the most dangerous thing we'll do.
And we're really orienting the ISR right now on that key terrain, both the intersection on the northeast side and then also the northern wood line that overlooks pickup site Kilo. Because yeah, right now we're trying to figure out where you're establishing some sort of corridor.
Alpha 1, Alpha 2, and Alpha 3 are set at the point.
Roger, jailbreak, jailbreak, jailbreak. Kids, come to me! Come to the sound of my voice!
Yeah, they moved. They moved. Eric, they're moving. Hey, X-ray 4.
Go, we'll bring him.
All right. Get eyes on that choke point, looking at the southern, southwestern side.
I'm looking at it right now. Which direction do you want me to be looking at it?
Just make sure you got eyes on both the choke point and that area.
I can see the whole paintball field up to the extraction. Yep.
We're gonna move up, because I don't got any field of view right here.
Hey, this is X-ray 1. I'm about to run up the road past Alpha 2 and run straight to the paintball field, over.
Alpha 1, Alpha 4, looks like Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 down. Alpha 1, copy last.
Oh, bodies. There's Phil. It's Phil moving up into the paintball field. He's on the left side, moving north. West side of the paintball field, moving north.
Alpha 1, Alpha 4, 2 enemy personnel moving north on the west side of the paintball field. How copy?
He's just north of those barriers now. All right, that's a drone kill.
So here I am with the priority personnel. I have no idea where your guys are. All I know is that it's all completely unknown.
All right, X-ray 3, or this is X-ray 3. Zone 1 is clear. I'm gonna peek over the top to see if I can get the guy in the paintball range.
Disregard, that's actually Phil inside the paintball range.
Roger, got him. I'm gonna move to my old location across the street.
Bound back, bound back, bound back.
This way, this way, this way. He's behind us. 80 meters right there. We're gonna run across.
Got it.
Garrett, stay here with Alpha 1.
Got it.
Yeah, they're both dead. Have any people over there? He's right there. I can see him. Okay, hey. Draw his fire over there. We're gonna run right up the middle. Gotcha.
I just saw him moving right there.
Hey, let Phil know that's my drone.
All right.
Hey, they're staying at the corner, quadrant 2. I'm about to make a charge. Stand by.
Tell Phil I got him for the drone. Tell Phil not to charge.
Roger, they're engaging me. I'm holding.
Go. Shot that thing. Let's go. Go.
Come with me.
It could have gone either way. There was some serious gunfights going on here, and basically there were very few players left on the field after it was all said and done. Equation where I have an ISR drone at my disposal, it's allowing us to change our maneuvers actively on the battlefield based on what we're seeing from above. So this first time being in that seat and getting to use that technology, I can already tell it's creating new opportunities for us.
Yeah, so a good round for us. We were able to execute our original plan more effectively and ultimately get the win. So as we anticipated, everything went down to quadrant 1 near pickup site Kilo. We were able to lay in the ambush site, and then we were able to just hold that terrain until they were forced to try to penetrate kind of our defense. At that point, we had attrited so many of them that we were able to take control of the priority personnel and ultimately win the round.
Okay, round 2 complete. Team X-Ray walks away with the victory. Tell us what the key learnings were for you and Team X-Ray, Phil.
What it really enforced to us was doing that terrain analysis on the front end with Farsight. We saw again that was critical. Like, we knew exactly what the key terrain was, and it was a foot race and a maneuver race to seize that terrain and hold it. On the robot side, on the tactical ISR and also the strike platform, in their current state, not super effective when you're doing high-speed maneuver. Like, there's a loss there. So on the ISR side, we both were using ISR against each other for situational awareness. It provided a little bit of that, but it wasn't all seen.
Right.
And then on the strike side, we got the strike platform up. We were oriented and talking it on at a decisive point really there, where you were on key terrain, you're getting ready to move the priority personnel. But ultimately, the amount of time it took in order to acquire the target and engage exposed it enough to where it could be countered by Alpha Team.
So Jerad, how did key terrain play into Team Alpha's experience in this round?
So Team Alpha got a little bit greedy this time. Instead of holding the same piece of key terrain we had last time, we tried to take one more across the open field, and that ultimately cost us because we lost 2 people right off the bat. We were put in a position where all the decisions were too much risk, and so we had to choose from all the bad options.
So moving into round 3, Phil, Team X-Ray is going to be on offense, extracting the priority personnel. And Jerad, you're going to be on defense, trying to interdict and prevent the evacuation. What is Team Alpha going to do going into round 3?
Set the conditions, right? So get that key terrain, the ones we know are going to be important, at least one of them. And as we'll see in the next round, it's going to be a little bit more contested because everyone has a better idea about how to hold which terrain to hold, and then how to hold it correctly.
Phil, what about Team X-Ray? You can't just rely on the shake and bake. What's Team X-Ray going to be doing?
There's really only one really effective way to take advantage of that terrain. So really what we're thinking is we've got to set conditions and then use speed to our advantage. We were going to get little advantage out of the, utilizing ISR or robots. Most of our advantage with the people physically creating that corridor. So that's where we put all of our focus, was how would we create a physical wall in order to enable the priority personnel to then get to pickup site Kilo.
Well, with the roles reversed, let's get into round 3.
Now we have a little bit more tech at our disposal, 2 ISR platforms, including computer vision. Our plan is to basically create the widest net that we can on the playing field as the rescue team pulls the priority personnel out of their hide site. We only have so many people at our disposal, just like they did, but we learned a lot of lessons from them about how to maneuver on the battlefield with all this tech up in the air. People, they took a lot of risk, they were very aggressive, and I think we should do the same thing.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna split into two elements. One element is going to move as quickly as possible and infiltrate to pick up site Kilo and set up a corridor there. So basically set up an ambush position or defensive position at pick up site Kilo. And then personnel recovery team, which will be my team with another person, we're gonna hide in the wood line and wait till they're set, and then we're gonna call the priority personnel to us, and we're gonna maintain custody of them as we get to that corridor and move as quickly as possible.
Execute, execute, execute.
Execute, execute, execute.
All right, you're up.
Home point updated.
Yeah, down here.
So from a team X-ray standpoint, our goal here is get X-ray 2 and 3 to that south side of pickup site Kilo, seize that high terrain there, so that they can set up a support position, so that then X-ray 4 and myself can move the priority personnel across that that northern wood line.
Roger, moving towards priority personnel.
All right, he's moving to priority personnel. You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna come in back that way. And
Oh, I got movement right at extraction.
And this was really a silly mistake on our side on X-ray team. We should have assumed you wouldn't put ISR on pickup site Kilo.
Reagan Jackson, stay in the building. We're here to rescue you. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, we can see you.
Go through the hidey hole.
We might be able to get straight to the kids. If those guys are all the way out there, let's beat up. The kids are still in the thing.
Okay, I'll take Danny with me and we'll go straight across to this woods. You guys stay to the right and go right to building 1.
All right, let's go. Follow me. They're in there. Woodline, woodline. Over here.
Wait, I'm gonna go back there.
Huh?
I'm gonna go back there to get their attention from quadrant 2.
They're in there?
Yeah, did you hear the call?
Yeah, but it came in broken.
They're in between us and Phil.
Fuck.
So we gotta go back to 2, or I'm gonna go back to 2 anyways.
Behind them. Okay. And I'm gonna try. Just look for me. Don't.
Eric, go make contact. Go. Hey, they're straight ahead. Go make contact with them. They're trying to cut us off. Go.
Like that wooded area it's still fairly large.
Yes.
And even with 2 operators and 2 priority personnel, our 4 guys searching through the woods to try to find them proved to be pretty difficult. And we just didn't move to contact fast enough.
Guys on civilian quadrant 2.
We've been spotted.
Let's go. Come on, run. You got him? Get him. All right, let's go. Use the corridor. Run. Go, go, go.
Go, Reagan, come on,
Get to
come on,
pick
come
up
on,
site.
come on.
Go. Let's go. You got it, Ray, run.
It was most certainly a loss for us. Even though we had the tactical advantage, we had used our drones effectively to set in a really nice
observation posts, and we were able to detect their movement on the battlefield before they were able to get the priority personnel out of the building. We maneuvered ahead, trying to cut them off, cut off their escape, and we were ineffective in doing that.
So what we did is, or our plan for having the initial element infiltrate in to pick up site Kilo and clear quadrants 2 and 1 worked fairly well. It was also their ability to flex. So once we left, we had to move pretty quick, but Alpha team moved towards the intersection on the hill in the middle of the arena very fast. So when we were coming out of the wood line, the eastern wood line, we saw them, and so we moved further north and started moving through that wood line. What ultimately helped us was our ambush element was able, or our defensive element was able to work backward and make contact and clear through them. So we essentially set up an L on them, and it was able to eliminate them.
Well, that's it for round 3. It sounds like the key learning point from Alpha is at the time when the trap needs to be, initiated, you got to do it. You got to move quickly at that decisive point. What were the other learnings for Alpha?
Tactically, we made all the right decisions. When we, in a real world scenario, we were measuring the risk effectively. That's not exactly what this is. So in this case, you have to be willing to take on more risk. And of course, again, the time constraints are such that they need to get the priority personnel across the goal line in a short amount of time, but we need to basically limit their ability to maneuver in that time frame.
So in a modern battlefield environment where ubiquitous technical surveillance should be expected and planned for, X-Ray made the early mistake of giving a visible signature, moving across an open danger area for 2 of your personnel. Despite that, you came back for the win. What happened?
Going forward, that lead element only goes to a certain point, and then when it's going to expose itself to potential surveillance, hold. And we need to synchronize that better. How we pulled success out of the jaws of failure, I think largely is adaptation, obviously, but what does that mean? We had established contingencies and we were working through that on the fly. And the key there is you don't give up. We were in a really bad position and you just start triaging. We're in a really bad position. What do? We let our team know we need them to come back and support us. All right, what's the next thing we do? All right, now out of us, who's gonna make contact with the adversary and start to trick them? And then we start just continually working through how we're going to adapt our plan and get a little bit of victory despite failure, a little bit of advantage as we're moving.
What are we gonna do going into round 4?
How the round is gonna start is gonna look much the same way. It's set the conditions. We know what they want to do. The key terrain is not changing. The strategy is not changing. The goal isn't changing. So it's okay, what can we do differently now to affect a different outcome? So what we're going to see is more risk in the right areas instead of dispersed risk all over the playing field.
Team X-Ray is probably going to be more mindful of the surveillance environment so that you don't trigger an adversary action. What else are you going to be doing in round 4?
We are not going to allow a gap. Holy shit, that was bad that we allowed them in between us. How do we mitigate that going forward? I'd rather assume risk where there's only maybe just me escorting the priority personnel, but we get 3 people locking down that key terrain, all spread out. And we're creating a whole line of defense there so we don't allow any gaps.
Well, that's round 3 going to Team X-Ray. Let's move on to round 4.
We had a pretty convincing loss in the last round, so we need to get way more aggressive if we have any hope of winning this iteration and winning the day. Our plan is to just meet them where they want to meet us and cause a big confrontation at the choke point near the finish line. So as soon as we get any detection of their movement or the movement of the priority personnel, we're going to go meet them where they want to have a gunfight. Unfortunately, that means we're going to be at a serious disadvantage, but at this point, we have to take on more risk if we have any hope of winning.
What we're going to do is we're going to send out a 3-man element. Upon launch and execute, they're going to establish a defensive line in the northern wood line, what we've been calling quadrant 2. They're going to be set up in a 2-man element along phase line red on that northeast side, and then 1 individual is going to go all the way till he gets eyes on pickup site Kilo, but he's not going to cross over. I'm going to move to the priority personnel, wait till they're set, and then I'm going to go ahead and take custody of them and move within the wood line behind that corridor that we're creating. And then once we get to the end of quadrant 2, we're going to make a mad dash to exfil the 2 priority personnel.
Execute. Yeah, I got it.
Get some more altitude.
We just got the execute call.
Actually move out into the space, or Jerad might make a call on when to go. But Jerad
set up just right there.
I'm gonna work back a little bit to you. All right, so for X-ray team, we're launching X-ray 2 and X-ray 3 as quickly as possible to get to that key terrain around pickup site Kilo. And really they're focused now on creating breadcrumbs along that northern wood line, setting up a human wall or defense there to enable us to maneuver. It's X-ray 1, roger.
They have a drone parked right over kind of where I need to cross. I think they're looking for this exact moment, so if you launch now, I think that's better.
This is X-ray 1, roger, I'm gonna launch.
We're gonna bias in that key terrain to the south.
Reagan and Jackson, can you hear my voice?
Yes!
All right, we're here to rescue you. I want you to come out the hidey hole and then go straight to the road that we exfil on.
Gotcha.
It's always speed. The speed to get to the choke point. Since we figured they were going to all stay on the eastern side of the playing field and not risk that exposure, then our only option was to get people up to the choke point as fast as possible. Here I stay back with Alpha 4 to try to employ drones a little bit closer to the paintball field.
All right, we're gonna make a mad dash. All right, ready? Stay with me.
All right, hey, this is X-ray 2. I've got movement, 3 times personnel in the quadrant 1 AO right around the baseball diamond.
X-ray 4, I confirm I see them as well.
Hey, this is X-ray 3. I pushed out of the view of the drone over there, so I'm literally probably 10 meters away from the cones.
This is X-ray 1, we're at the Caterpillar. All right, what do we got?
They're right in line with us. If you keep pushing, go right around this backhoe and push, you're like 50 meters.
And then make a push?
Yeah.
You guys ready to assault if we need?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go. Let's go. Follow me, guys.
All right, yeah, at this point, I think they're just gonna try to strong point the east side of the target and create a wall for the priority personnel to move through.
Ah, come on. I lost the drone. Alpha 3, Alpha 2. I'm thinking about going out and trying to own that paintball field if you don't think anybody's out there, over.
Good copy. I'm at the corner of the paintball field, the northeastern corner.
I think I see the priority personnel up on the high ground above the southeast corner of the paintball field.
We're on the northern ridge, eyes on the cones. All right, follow me. Stay 5 steps behind me.
I've got movement.
All right, I've got at least one in quadrant 1 on the opposite side of the cones.
I think they're trying to take the high ground on the east side by the private property line.
I got contact, opposite side of the cones, east side of the cones, enemy in the wood line. All right, I hear them saying they're gonna make a wall. Need all personnel to collapse here.
Eric, stay there, return some fire.
Barrett, need you to come down.
Coming up.
Yep.
Oh. Got me.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
That unfortunately turned into another loss for us. X-Ray proved to be the dominant team both in tactics and the use of their technology. Tech did do us a lot of good favors on this side of the ball this time, but when it all came down to it, at the crux where the action was happening, they came out on top 3 out of the 4 iterations. So a lot of lessons learned here, including how many times Tech is going to fail, but also this time we saw some human failures that I think need to be highlighted about how this is a different mindset.
Our plan played out exactly how we expected. We ended up, in this one, we were heavy on tactics, low on tech. Really our focus on tech was defeating the tech that we knew was against us, and specifically the ISR and the strike drone that the other team had. So in order to defeat that, what we did is we established a corridor of people on the north side, which we knew was key terrain. So we set different individuals to defend those locations. We grabbed the priority personnel, we moved really fast into that corridor, and then we collapsed it and made a mad rush at the end towards pickup site Kilo.
Well, that's round 4, again to Team X-Ray. Jerad, what were the big learnings for you, Team Alpha, and for the group as a whole?
I mean, in the aggregate, I'm looking at what led to the most victories, and by the biggest margins, it was the team that didn't use the tech much. They used it, but only to its limitations, and then relied on sound tactics and techniques and maneuvering on the battlefield.
So over-reliance on technology or treating like it's a magic bullet, you know?
Yep.
So what were your major learnings from the crisis evacuation scenario?
Yeah, so some people might be like, hey, what does an infantryman need to worry about for priority personnel evacuation or personnel recovery? The point is that even in a non-combatant evacuation operation now, you still are under surveillance the entire time. And why does that matter? Well, you don't have to employ kinetic effects to make a NEO really challenging. And I think more and more we're seeing that. We saw it in regional spots within the 12-day war of other regions that were dealing with evacuations of their own kind. And frankly, it goes back to the Afghanistan withdrawal as well. That you had a lot of people enter into HKIA unannounced in the middle of the night, which turned out to be a really interesting way to slow down the withdrawal and create a lot of problems for the American contingent there trying to do the evacuation and withdrawal.
So non-combatant evacuations, yet another good example. Hostage rescue, not exactly a general purpose force operation, but we've all been part of casualty evacuations in contested terrain when the adversary is putting a lot of pressure on you. Same deal here.
Yep.
Jerad, what scenarios come to mind when you're thinking about crisis evacuation and employing technology and sound infantry tactics?
Yeah, that in that UTS environment where I think it's our natural instinct to want to hide when we're being viewed from a drone overhead. But again, we're going to try to always push the assumption that you're always going to be surveilled by something. So you have to progress past the drone doesn't see me if I don't move thing. That works in some scenarios, and you should know the limitations of that. But otherwise, it's how do I outsmart this thing? How do I outmaneuver it? How do I find unorthodox ways to defeat it if I don't have the full suite of tech package to get it out of the sky? Those are things that every infantryman can think about, and especially in an environment like Ukraine where it's not uncommon for a soldier or 2 soldiers to find themselves alone on the battlefield, and now they have to egress under that kind of pressure. How do you do that effectively? Well, you have to understand the situation for what it is. Like being static and trying to hide is not going to win. Not going to win for you if you hope to live.
So far in the season, we've infiltrated behind enemy lines for cache recovery. We've taken out high payoff targets with hidden strike assets. We've now executed crisis evacuation with priority personnel. But what happens when you're on the move with priority personnel and you come under fire? Next on BattleLab, react to ambush.
Vehicle down, vehicle down, vehicle down.